This is a Emergency Broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here it means the star of the show, Uncle.
255, gentlemen. We are on the air. This is the comedy show.
Hey, right after I told Aaron during the break that everything was all good on his sound, guess what? You hear him? You guys can barely hear him out there because he's off his microphone.
I turned the mic off. Okay,
shut the young mic on. You're supposed to hear it, sidekick.
Here we go.
Hey, sidekick.
What did you do?
I don't know what he did. He doesn't know what he's doing here.
Okay.
There's a lot of moving parts here.
I know, moving parts and joining the trash box.
I got confused, as I tend to do, but I have the button on now. The button on the microphone.
Leave it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Do not touch that button.
Don't touch that dial. It's the Uncle Show that's on. As always, Friday nights on jelly.com.
Yeah, well, let's get those calls going and let's get a roll on.
We take calls every
Where's
Friday.
our first caller? Ladies and boys and girls, what? Ladies and gentlemen, I should say.
You can call in.
Call in. Give that number.
319-527-5016. Or you can Skype in, Charles.O'Chelly on Skype. Send Chuck a message. He'll bring you on. Or 319-527-5016. We want to take your call. We want to talk to you. And we've got the live stream video going on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. I see Creative Accidents is in the Twitch chat.
He's in action. Come on, Crazy Accent. I want to hear your voice. I need two right off the bat. Let's go. Come on, let's move it. Stop talking and standing on the side in the crack room. Let's get talking.
And that would be enough to beat Aaron, by the way. He only had one caller via Skype.
No, I get him on and it's over.
And it's
He's
over.
Done.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Like Tyson versus Spinks. Done.
Right. All right, there's accidents. Let's go. Let's get the call in. Let's go.
I want you to know, Uncle.
Playing around in that crack room. Let's go.
I hear you. I want you to know, Uncle, you only got one listener outside of the country on my stream tonight in France.
Oh.
So,
France?
yeah, only one
nice
outside of the country. No Canadians, no Europe. I don't know.
Oh, you know why?
Yeah.
I know why.
Okay.
They're listening to the Olympics.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
That's why. Yeah, the Olympics is on.
Yeah.
I remember that. I know that's probably what they're doing. They're watching the Olympics.
Yeah, makes sense.
Taking a break, then watch the Olympics.
Some big competition there.
That flip thing, talking about that for a moment, that thing. We're watching those people flying over and making wind, and that wind, it about killed them.
The wind got
The
them?
wind about killed them. We're going flipping over that snow, and it's turned around, and a comes down, and he missed the damn pipe, and he went down and got hurt.
So this was the half pipe
show.
The wind is so bad that the athletes are getting blown around to like hitting the sides and things like that. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah. It goes so high.
I mean, man, that was before I walked the dog. I was watching that a little bit, and that thing was going up, flip down, man, I could hurt themselves.
Careful, everybody.
You still got that cream?
Pain cream.
From
that's from Bear.
Yeah.
That's funny you should ask. I actually used it today. I hardly ever use it, but I did today.
I need to use it here.
Okay.
I have it. I don't know if you had it left.
I do have that, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a call.
First caller. There he is.
So I guess we're going to have to go to this call.
We have a caller. Who's this on the line, and where you from?
Hello, caller.
This is Jimmy James. And
I was saying something to myself. I was telling myself, Jimmy James is going to call me. I just had that feeling. You have called and tied the program with Sidekick here.
See,
One
now,
caller, and
That's
you
right.
have tied the series.
Oh, yes.
yeah, I know you tied
The
the
shows
series.
are tied for amount of calls
It's-
at the moment.
it's
the
too
moment.
bad that you couldn't turn that psychic ability toward your bet last week with me, because
I know. I really don't pick me by 2.
you'll me dollar.
Shoot.
Okay.
Pick me by 2. That ain't a bad bet, and losing by 2, that wasn't so bad.
No.
I was off by 1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had actually, tell you the truth, they were favored to win. I never pick the
Underdog?
no, I always pick the underdog.
Oh, yeah. This is the only time you didn't
He
do
doesn't
that.
like the
Did not
favorites. Yeah.
pick an underdog. Played the favorite. That's very rare that I ever won that. They win that.
Well, this time your
That-
team was actually the favorite.
Yeah, I know,
because-
but my point was, every bet I got, I always go with the underdogs.
Sure.
But seeing that my Rams were the favorites,
You picked him.
I picked them, and that's very rare that happened.
Something
I just
different,
wanted
Uncle.
to tell you.
Because you haven't always been a Rams fan. You just are now that we live out here. Previously, it was what? Was it you've been a Dolphins fan?
Dolphins fans until they blew up their dang measurement.
You got
They're
mad at the team?
No, not the team. The owner.
The owner,
I mean
yeah.
the ownership.
Okay. Yeah.
The ownership of that team, is sorry. I mean, I don't care. I know the 17-0 record, that's in the past, but they had a decent coach and a decent owner then. But after that, sorry.
Oh, just for reference, Uncle,
Reference.
Creative Accidents is in the chat, and he's saying
Get on the call. Get on. I don't want you on the chat. Get in, call me. I want that 2 points. Let's go.
we shall see what
Get
happens to
3.
that.
Come on.
Well, he's saying,
Chat.
he's saying in the chat that he used Bear's pain cream today too.
Oh.
So everybody's using the pain cream today. So
Oh, he has them?
yeah, I guess it's unfortunate we need to use it, but it's good
Well,
that
I
it
have a-
works.
Wait,
I have a
Jimmy,
what do you-
question for Uncle.
what's that?
Uncle, would you prefer if Miami was still in with my conference up north here?
Yeah, I'd rather see it go over there. I don't like the for some reason now, since these Rams have been playing so good, I'm staying away from the AFC. I'm staying with the NFC. For some reason, they're stronger. I don't know the problem, but they're stronger, and it's the stronger league. For some reason,
The
I
NFC 's
can't
better
put my
conference?
finger on it. Yes, it is. I just can't put my finger on it. Wow, but it is. It's just the way it is.
Creative Accidents is saying in the Ocelli Effect chat, the other chat, because he's in both chats, of course. He's probably in a few other chats we don't even know about, like a Discord or something.
Get
He-
on the call. Get on calling me.
Well,
I
he's-
don't want you in the chat. I want your call.
Well, he's saying something great in the chat, Ocelli.com, about the
Chat.
Dolphins. He's
What?
saying, I like Dolphins, especially when in James Bond movies they carry mines to blow up ships. That's what he has to say about the Dolphins.
Blown up ships. Where's the where'd that guy come from? 007. Where'd he show up?
I remember-
No, I knew he ain't coming to Miami. Unless he's talking about that one show with what's his name?
Yeah, James Bond.
Not with James Bond, with that other clown.
I was going to say,
Dr. Evil.
yes,
Dr.
yes,
Evil. Him.
Dr. Evil. With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
freaking sharks and the lasers.
Yeah.
Very good, Jimmy. That's a good impersonation.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, Aaron, before we forget about this, another thing that Uncle needs to make his commentary known about. Tom Cruise as Iron Man. Remember, I tweeted that over to you, and I said, what will Uncle say about this?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even understand what that meant. Is that a movie? What was that, Chuck?
A
What was
clip. Okay, so a clip came out that there's an alternate universe Iron Man that is going to be played by Tom Cruise.
In his show?
Well, in one of the
Top Gun?
movies coming up. Yeah. Not in Top Gun. But you know the guy Iron Man in the suit, right? Robert Downey Jr. has been Iron Man for several years in the Marvel universe.
Right, yeah.
So in an alternate universe, apparently there's the more perfect or more powerful or whatever Iron Man that's going to show up, and people are saying that there's these pictures of Tom Cruise in the Iron Man suit. So he's going to show up as like the alternate universe Iron Man at some point in the Marvel universe. I don't know the whole story, but I was just wondering if Uncle had seen it or had any commentary about it.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it. I'm still waiting on him to do the second show of the Top Gun shows. We're slowly waiting. Who I really want to talk to, we all know who we want to really talk to. Shake a leaf off of his head. I know he's busy, though. And he knows who he is. Yeah, you know Sidekick.
I do.
Yes, you know the fella.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Spielberg?
No.
That'd be a good guy.
Crazy. What's his name?
Well, you were going to have this show. We've been talking about it for like 2 years now, that you and Pierce Redmond were going to have the big Top Gun discussion, and the movie keeps getting pushed back. And that's been ongoing for 2 years.
Right.
Not your fault. They keep pushing the movie back, Uncle.
Well, for Pete's sake, let's get it on and let's go.
Right.
I'm saying waiting. I about know who's in the episodes now. I was on the YouTube channel. I was listening, and they showed me the people. They already ruined the show.
So
my standpoint.
You've seen the whole movie on YouTube.
On YouTube. It ruined the whole show.
Okay. Well,
it ruined the show.
Sorry.
Not even watched it on the screen in action. But we did not see it because of his bringing it back. Just like you said, Chuck. Bringing it back. Can't bring it forward. You might bring it back too far.
So you're saying that there's so many clips on YouTube of Top Gun 2 that you feel like you've seen the entire movie?
Yeah.
And that
and the people that are in it. I have a special surprise, but I'm not telling you until you see it.
Okay.
On that. I know what's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
I know what's going to happen on some.
So you're kind of
with somebody.
You're kind of upset that you've seen the whole movie, but only in parts on YouTube. You're kind of mad about that.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's what happens when you watch YouTube. All sorts of bad things happen that you didn't intend.
Well,
it's the nature of it, Uncle.
I lost
that's how it's set up.
phone, though, but that's another problem.
But Uncle, Jimmy, are you still there?
You there, Jimmy?
I am. I'm here.
I mean, oh gosh, any thoughts on any of this? I know that you got input on this.
Somebody, I know they all do.
The long awaited Top Gun 2, and how can he? See, he's also doing one of them crazy other ones he always does. The ones that he usually does. So they're like running together.
Oh, Mission Impossible?
On like 10 locations.
Yeah, Mission Impossible?
Yeah, he's been doing Mission Impossible in England.
That too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. Yes, I did hear that.
Believe it, yeah.
I heard about that.
Sure.
Sidekick, you're not with the program.
Oh gosh.
I've known about that show. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it. I guess. I
can't wait to watch it. We're sitting here wanting to see action movies, and mine, I'm still waiting.
That sounds exciting. All right, so new Mission Impossible, new Top Gun. Maybe there's a Risky Business 2 in the works. I don't know.
No, that
could be.
That Rain was Man okay too.
Maybe.
But that was interesting too. But I tell you, that one, I can tell you, was weird.
Got to be another Jack Reacher or two in the mix too, right, Aaron?
Yeah. So that one, I had to say, was weird.
Which one exactly, Uncle?
The one you said the last he was in.
Oh, Risky Business?
Risky Business, right. You mean the father is sleeping, the father's talking to the son, and it starts off, and he says, and his friend on the side here, sidekick on, and his friend was saying, let's do something interesting where your parents are gone. You get on the phone, talk to these, people. And here they come in the door. They walk in the door, pin the doorbell.
You know
Hello?
what, Uncle? I just thought of something. There's Tom Cruise related. The Super Bowl ran its annual Scientology commercial again this year. Did you catch that one? It's become an annual event for Scientology and the Super Bowl.
Well, that one.
Really? What was the theme this year? I'm curious. Were they all about COVID again?
No, it was just like this general, like, you can be empowered. You have the self, self-help motivation sort of kind of angle they were going for is like, you have the power. It's been within you all along.
Right,
I can't even remember specifically, but it was that. And then at the end, it like says Scientology. I was like, oh, geez.
It was a Top Gun sound track.
Was that playing on the commercial?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Well, maybe. Should have been.
Yeah, it was. I think it was, yeah.
But yeah, you've noticed that, Jimmy, right? That they play those on the Super Bowl now as like an annual thing?
I have heard, that funny thing, the commercials, I walk out. But it has been brought to my attention.
Yeah.
Well,
because I know that, usually the ladies, the only reason they watch the Super Bowl, they watch these crazy commercials.
the thing is, I know everybody will walk out for a regular ball game. I understand they would there. But for a Super Bowl game and a special commercials, they stick with it. They stick with it and watch the whole thing.
Well, yeah, Jimmy's right though. They definitely, the commercial thing is part of the appeal that they get even more ratings for. The commercials in themselves bring more ratings, so they do all sorts of stuff with that. I think even in the past they've crafted the halftime shows to appeal to a female audience. I think that's been done on purpose. I don't know this. I'm just assuming. But it seemed like they were doing less of that this year. Like with the halftime show seemed less like that. But again, I don't know. I might be just...
Well, this year it was more of the hip-hop nostalgia because you had, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dre, I guess. I mean, I didn't watch it in real time, but...
Oh, you missed a good halftime show.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the controversy afterwards. Eminem took a knee. I'm like, okay, right, sure.
So lame.
Yeah, he took a knee during his performance. It's not the same thing. Anyway, no, there's something to be said about all that. I didn't catch the. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see the Scientology commercial. That's gotta be something to just stick out there in the middle of Doritos and Bitcoin. Just it's because that's what it seemed like it was going to be to me. But I don't know. I didn't watch it really. I did watch the second half of the game though, and in all fairness, Mrs. O watches the games. She likes football.
There you go. Yeah. So that reverses the formula we were talking about. That's presumed to be true on its head. Yeah.
I'm actually the guy who's like, I'm not really all that interested, but I'll catch the end of it with you. I just, I'm less interested in the football than the female is in the house. What am I gonna do?
You let them stay on the television. Let them yell and scream.
Oh yeah,
like they do what my sister does in football season.
I was gonna say it's a similar situation in our house too, Chuck. Because for sure, your sister, Uncle, my mother-in-law, is by far the biggest football fan in this house. Without a doubt.
She is. I mean, you sit here in a baseball series for a baseball season, and she wouldn't watch a drop a cent of that. No. But when football starts in, on that couch, click the channel, and boom, she's on there, glued to it.
It's not just football games either. It's just anything associated with football whatsoever. She has it on, like the draft. She's been watching that for years. It's getting more popular now, but she's been watching it for years. And years.
I'm sort of getting interested in it because of the changes of the coaches, the firing of the coaches. This is what I'm getting interested in. But for example, I'll give you one just recently, earlier this past year. The reason on the Dolphins side, this coach that they had, he's a good coach. But what got my Danny, on this whole thing, the management, the ownership, just does not get along with the coach. And with that said, he's gone. Just for that said, he's out of here. You've got to get along with the owner of the team. If you don't get along with the owner of the team, see the door. I just realized that's what they do in the NFL. And then he had a thing in the NFL, made a statement about suing him.
Oh.
And I sort of suddenly agree with that too, because
I think
of the one guy, a Pittsburgh Steelers coach. He's black. Oh, why don't you get rid of him then?
I think we.
I know we have.
I think we talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago.
I know. I just wanted to tell them.
The lawsuit with the Dolphins coach and the NFL, and I don't know the status of that right now. I don't know what's going on.
And now, in the meantime, he can't even get himself a job from any other team. I mean, that's what's so stupid.
No, it's not good.
No,
it's not good. So.
That was it on that.
I mean, all sorts of problems in the world of the NFL.
Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
I mean, but Uncle, I think we do need to celebrate the Rams win because
we did
haven't
that.
Really done that on air yet. I mean, we are happy. The Rams are.
We're happy, and they said to everybody they will be back, except one guy.
Sure.
The team.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you don't sound like you believe that.
Do you believe that or not, Jimmy?
It's
a conversation now.
Look, that game should have been just an absolute blowout. And Stafford almost blew that. And I
agree. But what I have to give credit to, I got to give credit to Cincinnati's defense. They holded them. They couldn't get a single running attack going. You know how the Rams play their running first.
Yeah.
They go with their run first. They couldn't move.
I feel
that was interesting.
That's a credit to Stafford, actually, in the run game was shut down the entire time, and McVay was pushing that hard. He was trying to get the run going, couldn't, and they're running, and honestly, it was Stafford in the end that threw a couple passes to Kupp. And they just scored enough to eke it out. But it shouldn't have ended that way. I agree with you, Jimmy, but that's the way it kind of went.
But
I like Stafford. I do. I like him a lot.
I did like him. I do like him.
Who's the guy that grabbed his knee and fell to the ground for no reason when he was running with the ball? What was that?
Odell Beckham Jr.
No, that was Beckham Jr.
OBJ.
No, what he did, actually, he did it. Not a player. He slipped.
He hurt himself.
He hurt himself, and it had the.
Nobody touched him.
Nobody touched him. When I saw it go down, I said, "Oh, shit."
I gotta say,
he goes down.
Yeah, I examined that replay a couple of times. Jimmy James. I don't think it's no reason. He sort of jammed his foot in such a way that, and that's the problem with that artificial turf.
Oh, it's a turf.
You know, because these guys, you can get jammed up, and your momentum's going a certain way. And it looked pretty legitimate that he kind of jammed himself there in an awkward position on that knee. Although, I will tell you, when I first saw it, in like when they showed it at regular speed, I kind of was like, oh, is this guy getting out of there? Because I think he was, again, another guy who was waiting on a baby to be born. Is he trying to just bow out? I thought for a second, which sounds crazy to some people, but, I mean, it is possible. And, they played up that thing, too, about, somebody having to get right out of there to go see a baby born. One of their children's being born. Let's go to the hospital. But I remember them talking about that before the game, that Beckham Jr. was waiting on a new arrival in his family, too. And I was like, oh, did he just get out of there to go, I better show up at the hospital because, 11 300-pound guys trying to kill me is one thing, but, aggravating the wife is another. I better get to the hospital.
They knew about that. The players knew about that.
That's not what was going on. No,
that wasn't.
He got hurt, and he'd been injured in the same spot before.
Yeah.
With the same team.
Yeah, no, I was wrong about it, but at first that was my thought. Yeah.
The same team, they said.
And he's a passionate player, too.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. He is, first of all, a really good player. Yeah. And second of all, he's the kind of guy that like really takes pride, and he's the kind of guy that wanted to be on the field.
In fact, Sidekick's wife met him.
Yeah, she's been in proximity of OBJ. She was at a event with him once. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like him. I like a lot of the players that the Rams have now. A lot of them seem like they're cool again. I don't know them. They're not my buddies, and I haven't hung out with them like my wife has, but they seem like good people. I really like the team. We'll see what happens in the future. I mean, yeah, there's talk. They're talking big now, and they're able to do that. This is their moment.
It's
Aaron
their
Donald's
moment.
Like, we're coming back next
it.
year again. We're going to do it. So maybe. I mean, I hope so, but I don't know. If not, we'll just see.
It's just the way they balance the sort of checkbook of what they're going to do of getting people or how they get people.
Yeah.
You know, there was one thing I am surprised at. First round, they're not in it.
Oh, the draft. Yeah, well, they deferred a lot of their draft.
But what they did with the draft, was they did it completely different.
Yeah.
People don't realize how they said, all right, let's put all the chips in, let's go in.
Well, they realize now.
Was boom. That was what it was.
A lot of people were saying that wouldn't have worked, but now clearly it did work. The question now is, will it continue to work? But Jimmy, I know you have thoughts on this. Well, what do you have to say?
What do you have
to say right now?
Yeah, what do you have to say?
Oh, I forget what I was going to say. I had a Stafford. I was going to just say. Did you see that footage? Did you see that footage where he pushed that girl off the stage and broke her back? And
I didn't see that.
His wife had to go save her.
No, I didn't see that.
What are you talking about? Did this happen in the past? Is something I don't know about?
Is this something at that game? Oh,
it happened Wednesday.
Happened Wednesday.
What? Oh, you're talking about at that parade or whatever?
I didn't see that. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
I don't know. They were on some stage, and he was getting tanked, and some girl fell off the stage backwards, and Stafford turned around and wasn't even paying attention. Meanwhile, his wife was freaking out and, attending to her.
Wow. I got another question. I got another question about a stage, because when they did the Vince Lombardi trophy and everybody passed it around a little bit, I took note of a Rams, I think it was a Rams player, standing there with a WWE belt draped over his shoulder.
I saw that.
This is, I think, the WWE belt. I think there's something new in the NFL because they've been watching the wrestling too. Of course, you understand. Yeah. So what they did was they made a belt for the team, I suppose.
The WWE did.
WWE. Yeah. And they had the winners can wear the belt. So this guy's wearing a belt on the shoulder.
Yeah.
What team was it, Sidekick, that had it back in the past that had one of them?
Oh, you've seen this before.
I have seen it before on a team.
It seems familiar.
I forget what team it was.
I noticed it too. I'm like, that's a WWE championship belt.
Clearly.
What the heck is going on?
This is something new, though, for the NFL.
See, I never saw
Players, winners.
Yeah. Okay.
They do that. For some reason, they do that. I don't understand.
I'm not sure what's going on either. Yeah,
that's a weird
some kind of cross promotion thing.
Cross promotion. That's exactly
okay. No,
cross promotion. They figured, well, why not us get into the action? Because you got the wrestlers doing more of the action.
Well, The Rock was the guy who introduced the game before the coin toss.
Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, that might have been. And then when he said that crazy words like he says on the ring.
Yeah, he was in character like he is in the wrestling ring.
In a referee.
Yeah.
That's where I thought was, oh boy, there's going to be a championship belt somewhere. And that's what got into my head when I heard that. We heard it from him.
Yeah, when The Rock did
when
the
The Rock said
intro,
it, they said,
yeah.
oh, no,
Like,
the championship belt's going to be somewhere. And now it was at the end of the game with somebody carrying it over the shoulder.
Yeah, it was just over his shoulder, in that sort of like strutting. This is what WWE strutting champions do, right? They wear it over the shoulder and just kind of walk.
Yeah.
And there was a dude just standing there. I didn't know the player or anything, and I'm looking, going, that is literally a full-on WWE championship belt, and I had no idea where it came from. So glad you could fill us in on that, Uncle. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, because I have to find out or think about who it was that had a belt. No. No, wait now. I think I remember.
Now,
it was Honky Johnson. It was the guy from
the Honky Tonk Man?
No. The quarterback.
John Elway.
No, from Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
When did he have
goes
one?
like this. I think it started with him.
It did.
He goes there, puts the belt on, and runs championship belt, and he's going and walking around. Yeah, that's exactly where it started.
This was a couple years ago.
Couple years back. Couple years before he got before he got his championship.
When Green Bay won?
When Green Bay won.
I can't remember what it was.
I did remember that.
Okay.
He had that. I don't know if he put it around his waist. I think he did, and it started. It started there. That's where it started. Yeah. I believe that's what happened.
Yeah,
that's where it started with the belt.
I do know that The Rock. I had seen him on another piece of media promoting this new football league that he is like part owner of or something. I forget what it is. But they were promoting that on NFL commercials too. It's like, you need more football. This other league's gonna be playing coming up.
Well, they used to do the XFL.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Right before Corona, what was that? Stadium football that was starting to pick up, and that was made by McMahon, coincidentally.
Yeah.
They've taken multiple stabs at that.
Yeah, they have. And stadium football or like Iron Man type football has existed for a lot of years. I remember in the 90s, there was, I think the Brooklyn Knights, I think was the name of one of the organizations in New York. And, they were never in the major cities. They were just outside of the major cities. And they used to play like, they play both sides, and it's a stripped down version of it on a smaller field. They used to do that, and McMahon, I think, just kind of adapted that a couple of different times now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a commercial with him too, about a commercial with the Bears, and he was in it. That was back then too.
Oh,
I remember. You guys don't remember all this. You don't even remember when McMahon was even quarterbacking. Sidekick.
Vince McMahon?
Yeah. He started it up with his team, and he did that with a
XFL
with a commercial, a commercial song.
Yeah, I don't know what they're up to, but they got these other leagues. I feel like that's part of it too. I think Vince McMahon's probably part of it again. He always seems to be.
Yeah.
So The Rock is, so it makes sense that McMahon's part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know, but I wouldn't be surprised that that's part of what the belt was doing.
It was something to do with that.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the past when he was with Chicago Bears, they had I forget how the song went, but it was something to do with the
the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah, that was it.
And that was the Bears thing, and that was 86, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. That's what I was thinking of.
Yep.
And then now. Yeah.
That sounds really ridiculous, but I am sad that I missed it.
It is extremely goofy. I'm sure it's on YouTube, Aaron. I mean, I know you youngins might have not remembered this, but it did happen. Yeah,
it did. See, even Chuck knows. So I gotta be with the program.
It sounds believable.
The extremely creative refrain of "We ain't here to start trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Fridge there, Jimmy. Fridge did score a touchdown.
Oh yeah, Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah.
The big man. He came across
You
it.
remember
Right. Oh, I remember that too.
Who was it? Buffalo?
Probably.
Probably was Buffalo. I forget who it was, man. I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know. One thing, we haven't mentioned this on the show before, but I want to take the point to do it. Uncle, I've been setting up our gaming setup here.
Oh.
I don't know how much I've told you about this, but
I know you said something, but we never started playing it.
I've got a vintage gaming setup on the computer now. We got these controllers here for people watching the live stream. We got these Super Nintendo style controllers hooked to the computer.
I need to practice my Donkey Kong.
Yep. And we're gonna play some video games and do some real twitching where we play video games and see how that goes. And I think we're going to do that tomorrow because I got the setup. I got a couple graphics even. I think we're going to goof around and play some old video games and live stream it. So that's something.
Live stream it. So fellas and people watching, look at that and we'll see it. See us playing.
It's going to be a new thing that we do. We haven't done this before, but I figured let's goof around and play around with it, see how it goes. We'll just play some old video games, live stream it, see if we can get any attention.
And
see
I
if we
may look and see which ones he gets in there. If he gets older ones, I'm going to see if we can get some we can use, not the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I think you're going to like the games, Uncle, because these are games that I personally am familiar with because when I was a kid, I used to play them. So I think it'll be like me, like going, oh, check this out. What do you think of this? And I got to say, I'm interested to see what your reactions to some of these things are going to be.
Well, what vintage? I think it'll be fun. Are we talking about a specific vintage here? Because that could change that game a lot. Are we talking about a specific vintage or a specific brand at all? I mean, you said Super Nintendo style. Does that mean you're going to have Super Nintendo games? Like you're going to have the old Marios? What are you going to do there?
Well, yeah, specifically for now, I've been collecting Nintendo and Super Nintendo ROMs. So I have a few of those games collected. Okay. But my emulator that I'm running could do other ones too, like Sega CD, TurboGrafx, ColecoVision.
Oh my God.
All sorts of stuff. So we could get into that eventually, but we're going to start with Nintendo and Super Nintendo, yeah.
We're going slowly. I want to see this myself.
Please
finally be able to play something without the kids around.
Please alert me if you're going to do Street Fighter.
Because they're always playing with it on the TV.
Wait, what was that, Chuck? What did you say?
Please alert me if you're going to do Street Fighter. Because I think that would be absolutely priceless and filled with endless entertainment, Uncle playing Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, you got that?
Well, actually, you will be glad to know that that's one of the ROMs in the collection right now.
Nice.
Oh, good. We're going to be playing it, so...
Yes, indeed.
Stay listening.
You know I got that one.
I got
some good ones.
You already know which character you like to use in Street Fighter, Uncle?
I got it. Let's get that one first on the air. I'll see how I play on that.
Do you know which character you like best in Street Fighter, Uncle, by chance?
Don't know the names yet.
That's the thing. Uncle doesn't know any of this stuff yet.
I don't know nothing.
It's going to be all new.
I don't know nothing yet. He's the one setting it all up, finally doing something right.
It's always interesting. It's very important you pick the character that you really want to play in Street Fighter. I want to see how that works out for Uncle, And
so you have a character, I assume, Chuck.
Oh, right? Absolutely. I almost always use the same one.
I'll definitely get a character out of this. No question about it.
Everybody does.
I'm going to get a character, but I have to choose him and have to see which one are we looking at.
Chuck, I'm curious. So what character is your character? I want to know.
Okay, I split my time between two, and they're going to sound really weird, but most of the time, I like Chun-Li.
Sure.
Which is the one of the female characters in there. The rest of the time, though, that I always can never remember how to pronounce his name, but he's the yoga master.
Dalsim?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I would use those two always.
Yoga fire.
Yeah, that guy, right? Or he would do the thing where he'd stretch his arm like 8 feet long and smack you in the head, stuff like that. I love that guy. And he also had a teleport function too. So Yeah.
I want to see if there's
Those
any
are good characters. Good
I
characters.
want to see if there's any females in these options.
There are.
Oh, okay. I want to look. I'll have to look through all this shit and I'll go through them and see.
Chun-Li was both fast and strong just as a straight fighter. As far as like, stuff that was like a little more special effecty, I like the other one. But when I needed to really straight fight, I used Chun-Li because she was very fast. Loved the speed.
Yeah. She did that kick move where she does a ton of kicks, all like kicking like crazy.
Well,
that was one of her special moves.
The other thing is a helicopter move where she would go upside down and spin.
Yeah.
That thing is beautiful because it's like you can't even really defend against. Like anyway, no, I loved Street Fighter. Street Fighter was so much fun in the arcade and on Super Nintendo. So but I look forward to seeing how Uncle handles Street Fighter.
I want to see how this is. I want to see these in attendance, what I have to look at.
We're going to have fun, Uncle. I think we're going to start out slow. I think I'll probably throw on Mario to begin with, and then we'll just see. I got lots of ROMs, so we got a lot to work with. We'll just see what happens. It'll be a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's going to be planning on streaming that sometime in the day tomorrow, so you might want to check the live streams. If you follow the Twitter, the Uncle Podcast Twitter, you can actually watch that stuff on there. So I'll be streaming to that. If you're on Twitter, you might just catch it.
Any of these things are going to be on my cast. So what he's going to do, it'll be thrown on my show.
Mm-hmm. The live stream video
live stream
channels,
channels of all of them, I suppose.
YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and really Twitch is the thing that stands out when it comes to the games, because that's where people play the games and they stream it the most. So I expect
put
the
it
most,
on Twitch.
That's where we have the most possibility for engagement, I think, when it comes to this.
But if they get this going, we also might get some new people.
Maybe
out of it. That's a good point. You might get some new people. Hey, where's this guy playing that game? Let's find out who he is. And boom.
There are people that entirely make their living, by the way, just by playing games on these platforms, by monetizing it too. Yeah. I mean,
I've seen that. It's crazy. It's crazy the extent to this gaming thing and how big it's been. Jimmy, do I hear you there? I think Jimmy wants to say something.
Go ahead, Jimmy. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just going to say, I never played Street Fighter. I always played the other one, Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
And I always picked that dude that could shoot lightning out of his hands and had the hat, the god guy.
Oh, Raiden.
Raiden, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see all of this stuff. You got that on there, too?
I have that.
He has that, too.
See, when I played Mortal Kombat, Scorpion is the man. I love that guy. Get over here! I love that.
Sounds like Sting.
Yeah, it was great. And then in the later incarnations of that, where they had the move where he actually literally pulls the spine out of his opponent. I love Scorpion for those two reasons.
That's the fatality move right there. Yeah.
Fatality.
Oh, you're gonna love that one, Uncle. You're gonna like Mortal Kombat.
Finish him.
Oh, boy.
There we go.
Well, at least we'll have something to play on.
Oh, yeah.
Than having the kids doing all these games.
Yeah. Well, the kids do play some games. They've got some games that they like. They're different from any of the games I ever played. These vintage things are what I grew up with. And the stuff that they have now is a bit different. And it's crazy that just out of the gates, they've got the interactive thing going on where the multiverse style thing with like the Roblox and all that, you can go in
these
there.
Roblox games that they got. I'm
MMO
still trying to figure out what the guy's talking about. I get so confused of listening to it.
No, it's something else.
He goes, puts them in places. I just don't understand that kind of stuff.
It's just a game that you play with other people online, essentially. Massive multiplayer online. It's been referred to as a multiverse, the Roblox thing. And then you got that weird Minecraft game, which fascinates me that kids like it as much as they do. And there's it's a different gaming world out there, but getting bigger than ever. Yeah. No doubt about it.
I'm amazed at the reach of Roblox. Like everything from 4-year-olds to people our age are playing it. I mean, it's pretty wide in its appeal. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not about to play that thing. I can tell you that.
Not that. I like the old games, like you're saying, the old games out, because I've always liked the older games on these things. But like I said, I never get a chance to play on something, anything old. This was a good idea to do. I mean, now we got something that can do that we can play on for us.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're gonna have fun with this, Uncle. I got 2 controllers. The controllers they're so easy to get. USB controllers. They're cheap. The emulators are easy to set up.
Oh, man.
And even the live streaming video for me, I think that's easy too. So it's gonna be cool. And I have fun with the graphics. You can do a lot of fun stuff, and I have been with the graphics for these vintage games.
Oh.
Because there's a whole aesthetic there that is just there's so many things you can do with it. So I'm just having a lot of fun with that. So that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about us relaxing, finding maybe a little extra time on a Saturday. Even that's difficult, but just to go sit down and play some games and goof around for a few minutes, and then go do what we have to do after that. But it's going to be cool. It's gonna be good. I'm legitimately looking forward to it.
And there's lots of
looking
possibilities.
to see what kind of men are on this game. I'm getting impatient now.
You'll see.
And there's
What
loads
Chuck's
of
saying about
loads of possibilities here, because obviously if you have the emulators, you can just add in Nintendo 64 at a certain point, or or the other stuff, the early PlayStation games even can be added in. I mean, it just goes all over the place, these things you can get. And if you want to go really crazy and you want to go really retro, you could always go back to Atari and go ahead and get your
that was the
Space
beginning
Invaders.
one I used to play.
We could get Atari ROMs. That's something we could do. Yeah,
I
haven't gotten
did
any,
play Crummy. That you're talking
maybe we could play the E.T. video game.
Yeah, I like the E.T. one.
Oh, God.
I wanted the E.T.
That's notoriously the worst video game ever made.
Yeah, no, I like that one, but I would like to know how to play that. I've been trying to figure it out.
I'm pretty sure they made an entire documentary about that. And it ends up that the company buried all of these copies that they couldn't sell out in the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think in the documentary they go and they end up digging them up and finding them in the desert where they buried them, I believe. But yeah, it's Spielberg was involved and everything. It's an interesting story, the production of E.T. the video game.
And a close second to it might have been the first time they tried to make a Friday the 13th video game, and I forget what it might have been on Nintendo.
It was
Nintendo. It was absolutely horrible.
Not a good game.
I defy anybody to tell me what was going on. Games. Like E.T. was so funny though, because you already were working with minimal graphics.
I knew E.T. was.
And you had this like weird thing, and you got to put together the phone, but also you got Reese's Pieces around, and the more you walk around, you're going to die. So it was like this whole thing, and at the end of it, there was no real point to it. You get to go home, and then it just starts over again. You're like, like,
what was it? What was the ending one? You don't know.
Yeah, no, you put together the
phone.
Right
into
never
the
got to the ending.
No, see now, because I was a twisted child. I would put together the whole phone, and then they take you away. You get to go beam, like this really crappy sort of beam up to the spaceship, and then just boom, you drop back again. Go find the pieces again. Like, okay, like, what is this?
What am I doing and why am I doing it?
And you're trying to run from like there's like one cop chasing you around screen to screen.
Chance, you got that too?
Yeah, and
I'm sure I could find the ROM for that. If we really wanted to torture ourselves, we could play that.
I want to torture myself just to get into E.T.
We're masochists right out of the gate with these games, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew a couple of kids that got that game. Literally, Aaron, this is what they would do. They would just sit there lifting E.T.'s head up and down, and then he would drop dead, and they would laugh, and they would do that for like a little while, and then take the game out. That was it. It was like, I'm not even going to bother playing. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to kill E.T.
I know.
We're just going to kill E.T. and be done with it.
I know what you're saying when they was closing them in. Yeah.
You're talking about the movie now, Uncle.
Well, what happens is you fall into these pits, and there might be something in there, there might not be something in there, and then you can lift your head up and float out, but that takes away from your life. So
it was no that move. That part you're talking about.
Yeah.
It all started with the flower.
Yeah, well,
Farmers or something like that.
E.T.
in the
gets
movie.
very sick in the movie, and they have to get him back to life. Yeah,
Right. It was
very
because
sick.
I went home.
Yeah.
I went home, and they couldn't understand what they were saying. He was saying to them.
He just
But
wanted to
the
go
only
home.
one knew was the little guy. Little guy knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
But no one else did it. I see what you're saying.
He just wanted to go back.
He
No
wanted
big
to
deal.
go home, and that's what it was all about.
Yep. Classic Spielberg sentimentality there. Yeah, he knows how to do it. He knows. He's so yeah. I mean, the movie is far more interesting than the game. But those video game to movie to video game adaptations are notoriously terrible, and the ET is the prime example
With
of
the
that.
with the grand exception of the James Bond movie GoldenEye, which sucks as a movie in my opinion, but
Yeah, it
is an awesome video game.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so for Nintendo 64, it was one of those, and they tried to do it again with another one, and it just never quite worked. It was just that one time that you had an absolutely awesome adaptation from a movie in the video game land. But look, speaking of adaptations in time, you guys got about 5 minutes left. I don't know if you know it.
Okay, well, great, Uncle. We're getting toward the end of the show. Should we have Jimmy do a shout out here?
All right, Jimmy. I'm surprised at these callers, but of course
One call.
But that I know the reason why. I think
The Olympics. The Olympics.
It's
a tough act to follow there.
Yeah,
or to go concurrently with. Rather.
Yeah, I think that's what they've been all watching.
But Jimmy, you got any shout outs before
got
you take
any,
off
Jimmy?
tonight?
Shoutouts.
Well, good to shout out to the Rams of Stafford. Glad you won. Have a good weekend, everyone. You too. You guys have a good weekend.
Thank you, Jimmy. You too, man. It's great to talk to you.
You too. I'm surprised.
All right. So, Uncle, do you have any shout outs tonight?
The same. You know what Jimmy said. Shout out to the whole operation of the Rams. Finally got over the hump and did it properly.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can continue on, but that's my say.
All right. Yeah. The Rams did great. Yeah, I guess I'll shout out to the LA Rams and happy that they won. Happy to see what they do in the future here. I'll give a shout out to Robbie Martin because we were talking about the games, the vintage games. I mean, I saw he started doing that MAME Politics series, and that's when I started realizing, like, oh yeah, like it's kind of cool to do the streaming of games. And I watched a couple of his, and that was cool. And like yeah, so he was one of the inspirations there, but so many more on Twitch, and it's exciting. Again, I'm excited to do that. People check out the live stream tomorrow, Saturday. I'm probably going to do it our morning time, which will be early afternoon.
Early afternoon.
Late morning.
Late morning.
For
late
most
morning.
people.
Yeah.
East Coast, probably early afternoon. So just check it out. And thank you for listening to this show. We're here on the Ocelli Radio Network every Friday night. Social media is important. We're at Uncle Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Those live stream channels we were talking about, you can find the links to them at unclethepodcast.com.
They're on them. They're on mine there.
They're on there. So you can just link to the YouTube, the Twitch, and again, I already gave out the Twitter, but all the links are there on unclethepodcast.com. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell somebody that you want to scare with a weird thing that they didn't know even existed. Show them Uncle the Podcast. Hey, check this thing out, dude.
In fact, you might see us. You're going to put on the ad about putting those things on for the games.
Indeed. So, Uncle, why don't you bring us on home for the week here?
There's 255 episode. Bye-bye.